Hey guys, so welcome back to another episode of Phineas Flynn's Law. Today I'm going to be looking over the episode titles and descriptions that we were given from Disney Channel Germany. So let's go ahead and get started with the first one. Obviously the first two episodes are the Phineas and Ferb effect. So the Phineas and Ferb effect is going to be the hour-long special that starts the season, and there's not a whole lot that this new description tells us. Now for the next two episodes we get a pairing of the episodes Snow Way Out and then Teacher Feature. So the first one is Leeby98 translated on Twitter says, Milo and Zach get into a lot of dangerous snow-related obstacles, which sounds like a fairly standard episode. And then for the second episode, Teacher Feature, the kids prepare Scott the Undergrounder to go on a date with Mrs. Morosky, Milo's science teacher. That sounds incredibly interesting. I'm curious to see if they bring Scott into more of the season or if this is just going to be a one-time thing for his character, because if they get together, that could be a whole new plot line for the show to revisit later in the season. The third episode is Picture Day / Agent Diogee. It's picture day at school and Milo isn't successful to get a single good one. Well, that's not surprising, and I'm sure there'll be plenty of fun chaos with the other students, and they're all taking like perfect pictures and Milo's is just terrible. Then we also have Agee Ientee Diogee. Milo, Zach, and Melissa try to relax by eating some ice cream on a Sunday. Now it makes me think that Diogee is going to have a major B plot in this one, perhaps with Alka trying to recruit him or some sort of thing, but Milo, Zach, and Melissa trying to relax by eating ice cream doesn't sound like a particularly interesting plot. Obviously the synopsis is just very broad, but it'll be interesting to see where they go with that plot and how Diogee will play a role into that. For the fourth episode, we have Game Night / Pace Makes Waste. First one, Milo, Melissa, and Zach try to finish a board game for the first time. Sounds absolutely hilarious. I cannot, if it's anything like Skiddly Whiffers or other games that it would be funny if it was Skiddly Whiffers, but it'll just be interesting to see, what kind of things Murphy's Law throws in as they're trying to finish, kind of like how Milo was finishing the race in season 1. Then Pace Makes Waste. There's a huge charity car race in town and Murphy's Law causes a lot of chaos. Charity car race, you could potentially get Cavendish and Dakota with their car. Be interesting to see if they choose to bring that in. For the fifth episode, we have Cake Splosion / Lady Krillers. We have Amanda and Milo try to win the bake-off named Cake Splosion. Now this is interesting because we've seen Chrissy Fit tweet something that looks like her recording for this episode. So we kind of get that this is going to further the Amanda-Milo plot that was established from the first season, which presumably won't be resolved in the crossover. Then we have Milo convinces Tobias Trollhammer to dress up as a woman in the newest Krill Hunter movie. So for the Lady Krillers episode, it's going to be another Tobias Trollhammer episode, which is interesting because I didn't think he would come back. He was more of just a one-note character for me. But it'll be interesting because Milo and Tobias were was Milo actually in Tobias's movie? Did that movie get released? Are we going to get to see like a clip from Milo's chase scene in the movie? Or how did they become friends? How's their relationship been over time? And why does Milo want him to dress up as a woman? So that poses a lot of questions right there. For the sixth episode, we have Doof's Day Out / Disco Doover. Now this is really interesting. She says it's freely translated, Doof is somehow in the Murphys' home for some bizarre reason, but Sarah doesn't want him to be there. So we're getting Doofenshmirtz coming back, and it looks like this could possibly be the shot that we saw from Swampy when he tweeted about Doof's car, where it would make sense if he's going to be with the Murphys. Maybe he's taking Sarah's mom kind of away from her if she wants to spend time with her mom or something like that as he's getting involved in the Murphys' life. It'll be interesting to see what role they use Doofenshmirtz in on a regular basis for the show. Then we also have Disco Do-Over, which is, since the roller skating rink closed, Martin and Bridget get a new chance to fulfill their dreams to become disco dance champions. This will probably be an episode more likely focused on the parents, and I wouldn't be surprised, given Dakota's aficionado for the 60s, if they became a part of the disco dance champion contest as well. Here we go, number 7, the ticking clock / managing Murphy's Law. Milo, Zach, and Melissa try to save the City Hall's clock that Melissa's great-grandmother has designed. Now this is interesting because the City Hall clock was a major part of the Back to the Future time travel franchise, so I'd be surprised if Dan and Swampy didn't take this opportunity to have some sort of saving or going back in time plot with Cavendish and Dakota having to, because it's all save the clock tower in Back to the Future, and I think that'll probably be a parody of Back to the Future. Then we also have Amanda helps Milo, Zach, and Melissa to prepare a concert in the afternoon. This is the one that Mitchell Musso, who plays Jeremy in Phineas and Ferb, is confirmed to come back for. So this looks like it's going to be a band concert sort of thing. Maybe we'll see Jeremy in the incidentals or other Phineas and Ferb bands. Maybe Love Handle will make a cameo. it'll be interesting to see how that whole thing plans out. And with Amanda coming back into the fold, maybe we'll get a little bit more on the Amanda Milo plotline. The next two, Field of Scream / Spy Little Sister, there's not a real description of this, it's just kind of a general season description, which I'll put at the end of this. But from what I can tell, Field of Screams, maybe something to do with aliens, crop circles, potentially, and then Spy Little Sister, who in the show has a little sister? Milo certainly doesn't have a little sister. Zach, I believe he's talked about having a little sister before. And I believe Melissa is an only child. So, it'll be interesting to see. Maybe this will be a more Zach-focused episode, but I'm not 100% sure. Then we have Milo's Shadow / Sick Day. This one is also freely translated. Doof wants to learn how to be good and annoys Milo for an entire day. She later corrected herself on Twitter and says it's more like Doof just kind of follows Milo around. It's interesting to see when the timeline for this episode is, because in the crossover, we saw one image where Doofenshmirtz's building still has evil incorporated on it. If this is after the summer, where he was given essentially leave from jail to become a high school science teacher, you would think he would want to erase evil from his building, his company name, and everything. So maybe the crossover is set before the end of the summer, but then why would Doof want to learn how to be good? Would this be set after the summer? Like, it'll be interesting to see how the whole timeline is pulled in with this. And then Sick Day. Aliens try to get the DNA out of a sick Milo, but Diogee prevents it. So now, maybe the Diogee plot from the other episode with the ice cream is going to come back, and Diogee's job is now to protect Milo from threats around the world who are coming after him. So it'll be interesting to see if these aliens are the aliens more like from the Chronicles of Meep, or if they're from, the aliens that we've seen in the very first episode of Milo Murphy's Law, if that was a setup for this. And the last two that we get are Freefall / Milo's World, which also don't have individual descriptions. So for the two that didn't have descriptions, she says that there's like a season synopsis, which essentially says that Milo Murphy's Law and Phineas and Ferb characters in the second season are going to try and clean up the mess caused by Murphy's Law, and then Cavendish and Dakota have found some sort of new destiny. So I'll be curious to see what Cavendish and Dakota's new destiny is, because they're going to stay around as characters. Obviously, they're, Dan and Swampy. They're going to stay in the show. So what is their new destiny going to be, and what is the story arc? A lot of people have said it's probably going to be aliens because they're mentioned a couple times. We don't see another 45-minute special here, so it's possible that it could be like season 1 where you have the halfway 45-minute special, and then you do a 22-minute season finale. But they've already done a 45-minute special with the crossover, so it'll be interesting to see how they play this and what they build as the overall season arc. Overall, I am super excited about these new episodes. I hope you guys enjoyed my thoughts on it, and I'll see you next time on Phineas Flynn's Law.